Hi guys, hope you are having a fantastic week. So as you can see from the background, I'm kind of doing this video from a different setting, a different area today. But what am I going to be going through today for you guys? I'm going to be going over my recent chair purchase, which was, to be honest, very, very expensive. I'm still thinking like, oh my God, I've spent this much on a chair. You know, I've done it now. So I brought the Herman Miller, the Aeron chair, and whew, it was expensive, guys. And I only brought this a few months after my first purchase of the Monjour chair, which I'll go through in another video. Guys, if you're looking for a office chair, well, a premium one at that, with an expensive price tag, you have come to the correct video. What are my impressions of the Herman Miller Aeron? Guys, you're about to find out. Keep tuned into the video from beginning to end. Let's get started. Like I mentioned at the intro, I'm going to be going over the Herman Miller Aeron. Now guys, before I get into the video, you already know what I'm going to say. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for, guys? Hit the subscribe button below. It takes a few seconds, guys, and it greatly supports the channel further. Please hit the like button if you enjoy this video. All this helps the Google algorithm, and you know, it greatly supports me. So let's get into the video now. So guys, as I mentioned, I'm going to be discussing the Herman Miller Aeron. Now I've only brought this, I would say, 5 to 6 months after my first chair, the Monjour ergonomic office chair. If you guys didn't check the video out, check it out here or here, wherever the link goes. It was a great chair. It was around £380, but I had a few issues with it, and I'm going to address like the issues when I compare this Herman Miller with that specific chair. So I don't want to get into that in this video, but yeah, I did end up spending more money on a better office chair, and to be fair, I've had it for a week and it's been completely worth it. Now without further ado, let me just go through the specifications of this chair. And just to let you know at the forefront, with most Herman Miller chairs, you are getting a 12-year guarantee, which is a huge peace of mind when you're paying a huge chunk of money, right? Because if you're paying that much money, you would expect a guarantee that's lengthy in turn. So guys, so the first thing I want to discuss is the mesh that's used on the chair. Now, when you touch it, it does feel a tad bit rough. However, sitting on it, it is incredibly comfortable. I was actually rather surprised because when you feel it, it doesn't feel soft and it doesn't feel comfortable. However, when you sit on it, it's completely the opposite effect. It's nice to touch, you know, sometimes, but yeah, it does have a weird texture when you're touching it with your hands, but when you're sitting, you're not going to notice that. So it's great. And as you can see, this mesh seat lining stems from the back seat all the way to the bottom. So for those guys that don't like to sit on something that's made of mesh, this is probably not going to be for you. But as you can see, what I've done, I've put a foam, usually they put it on patio chairs. That makes it a little bit more comfortable. And the reason why I've put that is sometimes I like to sit on the chair with my foot up, and you see the ridges on the side, the plastic ridges, that can make it a little bit uncomfortable. So yeah, I would for those that do want to sit on it with your foot up, which is really difficult because I'm 5'4" and I went for the Herman Miller size B, and when I try and put a foot on it, it just about gets on, but it's very uncomfortable due to the plastic ridges. Hence why I've used that what do you call it, foam seat cushion from patio chairs to make it a little bit more comfortable when I do put my foot up. So moving on to the handles, and guys, just to let you know, I would say at the forefront, I wish this had a headrest. That's a con for me, but you know, it is what it is. But okay, the handles, So you can see they are very, very cushioned, and they are very, very soft to touch. This, I can say, is a massive bonus point for me. And the reason for that is the Mondial chair, again, check the video out where the link is, that the handles were very, very hard. So when I would sit there, like even for 10-15 minutes, I could feel it like just going into my arm. It was poking my arm so much. They were so hard, so uncomfortable. It was just not worth it. Like seriously, these are incredibly well cushioned. They are very, very comfortable. You can have your arm on there for several hours and not feel tired, or your arm doesn't start aching, or they don't poke. You don't get any of that. It's fantastic. So these arms, guys, they move forward, back, and side to side. And the good thing with this is, compared to the Mondial chair, is when you put your arm on it, they don't just easily click out or in. Though I would definitely say, I don't know why they haven't put a lock on this movement when it goes in and out, because you can just apply a little bit of force and the arm handles go out, which is very irritating. But it doesn't go as out as the Mondial chair. That would just flip out straight away. And you know, even with the Herman Miller, they do need a lock in place for the handles to keep it there. But yeah, it goes outwards, inwards, front, back, and also you can adjust the height of the handle, so the depth. So that's great. So depending on what height you are, you're going to need those adjustments. So that's a premium bonus. However, you don't get this function with all Herman Miller chairs. So that's something to bear in mind. Moving on to the functions that it has on the side knobs on bottom of the chair. Actually, before I go into that, the build quality of this is really, really good. Though I don't see a lot of metal used in the build of this chair. You know, like compared to my other Mondial chair, there was a lot more metal. The feet was made out of metal. With this, it's not the case. It seems like, I think it was 40% or more than 40% is more plastic, but it's not like a cheap plastic. It is a very, very hard plastic. So definitely it does look premium. But yeah, I wish they did use a bit more like of the steel metal parts, but I think they used that with the more expensive Herman Miller, the polished one. I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that does make like drop a couple of points, because it does look premium, but I think when you put a little bit of metal and steel, whatever, into it, it just upgrades the quality. It just looks strong, and that's what I think the idea you get when you do seal like metal components to a chair. But obviously Herman Miller have kind of given away with that, or put it to a side and use more plastic components, and the reason for that is so it's easy to recycle it. So yeah, I guess I can see from their perspective why it'd be good, but I personally think that is a little bit of a flaw, but nonetheless luxurious and premium. So moving on to the first adjustment on the chair. Now this is a tension adjustment. So essentially when you're sitting on the chair and you want to reflex the chair back or recline, that tension function either makes it a little bit more tighter, so it's a bit more difficult to recline back. Alternatively, if you decrease the tension, it will basically make it much more easier to recline and reflex back and take the chair back. The next thing is the function in terms of letting the chair go up and down. So obviously the gas moves it up and down. The adjustment here was a very different compared to the ones I've seen, because usually you see a lever and you push that up to let it go down, and obviously get off the chair, push it down, and it goes up. On here it's like a kind of a clip function, and as soon as you lift the clip up, it allows the chair to go up and obviously accordingly down if you need it. So that's very different. I don't know what to think of that. My concern is if that kind of function breaks, that would be an issue, but I doubt that will, because it's Herman Miller, right? It's something of high quality. But yeah, that's a very interesting function nonetheless. So moving to the other side of the chair, you have basically it's more of a forward tilt function. So yeah, it has a forward tilt function, so when you get off the chair, essentially what it does, the chair goes forward, which I don't really think I would personally be using that, but if you guys need to use that, it's there. So one thing I've noticed with this chair, it doesn't have the function which I used on my previous chair, where the seat basically can move forward and back, and that would just allow me to move, say, forward if I'm just like resting and I want to take my feet a bit more out. I was really kind of disappointed that this chair doesn't have that, and yeah, I was a bit surprised that it didn't come with it, since the other chair, the Mondial, which is cheaper, had it. I do have to say the Mondial does have a little bit more functions, it just lacks the quality. The back of the Herman Miller comes with their, I can't remember the exact name, but it allows you to adjust the kind of posture. So when you sit and rest your back against the back of the seat, you can just tighten it. So I can't remember what this is called, but essentially it provides more support to the back as you're adjusting these kind of knobs on the side. With other chairs, what I had is basically you can move it up and down, so the lumbar support, you move it up and down. With this, the support is kind of different as you're moving these kind of adjustments on the side, either side, and it basically kind of, I don't actually know what it's doing because you can't see it you can't see it in action, so I presume it's doing something. All I notice is that as you're sitting back, it starts to feel a bit more tense in certain areas, and it's kind of tightening up and providing more support accordingly. And this again does not come with all chairs, so please bear that in mind. It only comes with certain chairs, and you might have to upgrade your chair to get this feature. Okay, so moving on the lower branch of the chair, you can say, so the legs essentially. So the legs look like they are made of plastic, not metal. They seem incredibly durable, and I think it supports up to 159 kilos, which is a crazy amount of weight. So I expect them to be durable, right? With that, it's got these wheels that basically work on carpet and hard floor. Again, this was an upgraded feature. Sometimes you can get the carpet wheels and sometimes you get the hard wheel. These are for both, so that is a great bonus, but I don't think I'll be taking it onto hard floor because most of the house is carpet. But for those that are using hard floor, you do get those kind of wheels with it. So guys, let's wrap this up. The chair is fantastic. I do like it. It's made fantastic. It feels fantastic. I sit on it and feel incredibly, incredibly comfortable. Obviously, the cons are it's extremely expensive. It doesn't have the seat that allows you to move forward and back. The arm handles doesn't lock in place, so you know it doesn't go in and out. And also the fact that it's more plastic components, which isn't a bad thing, but it doesn't have like the metal components that make it a little bit more high end. I feel that's a little bit of a con as well. And then on top of that, it's got a hefty price tag, yeah, which is not affordable for all people. And just to let you know guys, this was a new chair and it costed me £1,100 and I think it's £50, so it's not a cheap investment, but I expect this to last a very, very long time. So guys, you would want to know, right, if I think it is a good investment, was it worth it? So in terms of that, I can definitely say it was a worthwhile investment, expensive at that, but worthwhile. I would definitely recommend it if you have the money in the account to go for this type of chair, if you're willing to make an investment, because it isn't a tiny investment. But if you're going to be sitting in your chair for long periods of time, several days, well, all week I would say, and you don't want to basically fork out expenses long term if your back kind of gives way, because if you're sitting on a cheaper chair and it's not catering for your back well, it's going to be expensive long term. You're going to get back issues. It isn't worth it. So taking that into consideration, and if you've got the money factor, I would 100% recommend this chair. It is of very high quality and it is incredibly well made, and it feels fantastic to sit on. Though there are cheaper chairs out there that could probably be very comparable, match the quality, or even be better, guys. So do your research. There may be other YouTube reviews that can recommend a cheaper chair, a much better chair, a more affordable chair, a high quality chair. So yeah, the end game is to do research, but I just didn't have that time. And on the YouTube I was checking that this was pretty much the highly ranked chair, so hence why I went for it. So guys, yeah, that's pretty much my video review of the Herman Miller. I am very happy with my purchase. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please guys, hit the subscribe button. Please join my YouTube community. If you like this video, smash the like button. That will greatly support my channel. And one more thing guys, if you can and if you want to support my channel further so I can make more videos for you, buy more products to review, please hit the buy my coffee button or buy me a coffee button or the link below this video. I'm just going off in a tangent, and I think basically you can donate I think a small percentage, the price of a coffee, so I can use and implement that directly back into the channel. That will greatly help me out if you can do that. Guys, let's wrap this up. I'm going on forever. Thank you guys for checking this. I hope this review helps you, and I'll see you in the upcoming video. See you guys, take care, bye.